Hello traders, and welcome back to another trading day with the team. Welcome to today's daily watch list. Today we are going to have a look at the overall market for the week, what we are going to be playing, what we are going to stay away from, etc. Right? Today's daily watch list is going to be free for all. So if you are part of the free group and are watching this watch list and want to be part of the VIP group, the link is, of course, below this video, as always. Now, let's have a look at the DXY. Now, let's start with the daily on the DXY. As you can see, we are still below the 93 level and the previous high, right? The previous high was printed around the 93.43 level, or these highs right here, as you can see. Okay, so having said that, if you are part of the VIP group, you already know that last week we have been talking about for a couple of weeks, a week and a half or so, about the DXY printing a reversal pattern around the 93 level, around this very thick zone, all right? But we also said that this was not in play just yet. Why? Because the DXY was still trapped inside of that rising wedge, and we didn't know, and no one knew if the DXY was going to print a higher high or it was going to break with the lows. In this case, it printed a higher high, still inside of that reversal pattern, which in this case is it's a mid-term bullish structure because we already printed a new high. Now, the play here would for this week is going to be longs US dollar, right? So there is going to be two possible scenarios, right? The highly likely scenario would be a break of the highs right here. Let's color this. Well, this is fine, right? A break of the 93 level. Well, we already broke with the 93 level. Let's grab the crosshair tool. Yeah, we already printed above that 93 level. So the actual possible scenario would be a break above that previous highs, price stabilizing above those highs, and us looking for those longs above those highs. People, remember that we are going to be trading with the trend. It doesn't matter that we are long-term bearish on the US dollar. We are going to trade what we see. So having said that, there is another possible scenario that price will reach that level and retest that structure that price has been testing quite a while, right? Since it formed, we have tested it 3 times already. So when we get there, the other scenario would be, reversal in price of gold to at least a retest of those previous highs, right, around the 92.70. For the time being, that move is already gone, and well, we are trying to catch it on the euro, the euro Aussie, right? I sent that as a free signal too, so you are more than welcome about that for that, right? So that's a DXY. That is how we are going to be playing this DXY on this week. I'm sorry. So gold, right? Gold had a very bearish Friday, and of course had a very it's having a very bearish Monday, right? But let's have a look at what's going on here. This is the daily in gold, pretty much just levels on my chart if you don't know how I trade. Now, this previous level right here, very heavy in gold, as you can see from historic price action, etc. Right now, this is the volume zone, the high volume zone that gold was trapped in before that spike higher. Right, that spike higher in gold. Well, it didn't quite got to the 1838 level before seeing this bearish momentum. Right now, I remain bullish metals, strongly bullish metals actually. Oops, I'm sorry. Here's the reason why. Right. So this is the 4-hour chart in gold, and as you can see, for the past weeks. For the past 3 weeks worth of trading, we have seen bullish closes, right? Bullish closes in all of 3 trading, on all of 3 past trading weeks, right? So this pretty much moved to the downside. Does not alert me, more so because we are actually retesting some very interesting levels. So let's go back in historic price action, and I'm gonna share with you the levels that I'm looking at here. So this is actually, where is it? Right, these lows, apparently these lows. So these lows are not the level that I was talking about. Hold on, let me just grab again my tool. Right here this is the level that I'm talking about, right? So between these two, I'm sorry about that, between these two levels, this is the high volume zone. As you can see, the high volume cage, let's call it, and let's put that cage in on that chart, right? That cage is the high volume zone, right? Right now we are trading in the middle of that cage, but that is a high volume area, right? If you look in historic price action, if you look at gold futures, you are going to definitely have a spike here in volume. Actually, why don't we do just that? GC gold futures, right? This is gold futures. Now don't mind that candle right here. This is 10 minutes delay. I don't have futures data to be on tape, but it really doesn't matter. What we want to do is just look at the volume. I'm sorry. It's fixed range, right? I want to look at the volume of the past 3 weeks worth of price action, right? Let's put on the point of control as a green line, and that's it, right? So if we grab the volume, right, the high volume of the past 3 weeks, you can see that the spiking high volume is right here in this area, in this box that we were talking about. This is our value zone, right? The value zone means that this is where the high probability trades are going to take place. Now let's go back to our gold chart, gold spot. We are right there, as you can see. So I remain bullish above that high value zone, right, or the high volume box that I traded. Now we are not going to get opportunity to trade gold with the VIPs just because there is no setup to trade gold, right? Long term and other trading strategies do have some setups going on, but not us, right? What we are going to be looking for eventually is this. This is the hourly chart in gold, right? So this is basically what I'm looking at right now, retesting that key level, or this is if this is Friday, right? Thursday, Wednesdays, and Tuesdays lows. Around Wednesday's lows, we are retesting Wednesday's lows, and we are still inside of a short-term bearish structure, right? But we are printing this quite intriguing falling pennant, I'm sorry, right at the bottom of that move. So let's have a look at some VIPS on gold, just to make sure that we are not missing some targets on the long term, right? So let's have a look at the 261.8 of that is way too low, right? So we are going to have a look at the 113 of the first leg down. There you go. So the 113 of the last leg down, which would be from this high to this low, is right here at our high volume area. So this is a bearish target. As you can see, well, I put it from, I'm sorry, I was looking at my other screen. From this high to this low, where the 113 is the target, right? And if we look at the 161.8 of the last leg down, let's have a look at that. Right here should be 161.8 of the last leg down. Yeah, around the bottom of that box. So this is a high target area on our gold charts, right? So what we're going to be looking for a possible signal would be a break of these highs, right? But definitely what we will be looking for is a rally towards that 1718 and a price stabilization above those highs. This is the ticket to our possible longs, right? Now, if price should fail all of this, then we're going to be looking for shorts, but definitely still looking for those longs in metals. Now, let's have a look at, wow, we have been going through, burning a lot of time into into a time. But I mean, it's quite important that we have a look at that, right? So let's have a look at the euro US dollar. So the euro US dollar quite interesting. Again, we saw a failure of breaking with this reversal pattern on the euro USD. With the we still have some pending buys that are still in play with the swing trading team. If you are interested in that, of course, the link is below this video. But the thing about that is that, gold is still trapped inside of this long-term, mid-term reversal pattern at the bottom of a very bearish move, right? Interestingly enough, gold and the Euro USD have failed to break lower, whilst the DXY did break higher. So that's interesting to notice, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to wait for that reaction. Let's see on the 4-hour chart. There is absolutely no setup for us to go to buy into some weakness here, but there could be once price stabilizes. I do have my alert here. You already know that above Friday's highs for us to have a great risk to reward ratio on that trade. GBP USD, same story, right? Same story on the pound US dollar. Even though the pound US dollar did spike lower, as you can see here, we did have a spike lower on the pound versus the US dollar. So longs on the pound USD are no longer in play. And to be completely honest, this market has become very unsavory to trade. This is very sketchy price action at the moment. US dollar Japanese yen. The US dollar Japanese yen failed to break with this very strong area. Well, it did break with this strong area of we printed lower. It didn't break. We printed lower with this strong area of resistance. But on the daily, we continue to be short. As you can see, this is not driven by the US dollar by any means. Being the US dollar, the US dollar being very bullish today, and the US dollar Japanese yen being bearish. This is driven by the Japanese yen strength. Let's have a look at this at 6J. Japanese yen futures, right? Japanese yen futures are very strong today, as you can see. So the short moves or the bearish moves on yen pairs are caused by Japanese yen futures strength. So on the 1-hour chart, Japanese yen futures, right? We are waiting for the breakout of this area, right? And on the daily, you can see that this is the area that will bring a lot of bullishness into this market, and we are going to see yen pairs tank. US dollar, Japanese yen, euro yen, pound yen, etc. Pound yen even more because of the pound weakness. As you can see today, the pound yen down 0.52%, or exactly a 126 pip move to the from high to low. We missed that, but that's fine. Aussie yen again down, CAD yen down, euro yen down, all yen pairs are down, and we are going to look for a short maybe on one of these currency pairs if we get a pullback. So let's finish up by looking at that Euro Aussie, that we have right. Actually, I'm gonna write that an article on that one. Let's finish up by looking at the Aussie US dollar. The Aussie US dollar again spiking lower, and the US dollar Canadian dollar. The US dollar Canadian dollar is super strong today. It's still very much super strong today, up more than 1%, 1.2%. If we break with these highs, everything is lost for bears, right? So let's have a look at some structure in this market. I would love to see some real structure in this market, right? Okay. And let's clone this just to have a look where we might be headed, right? We might be headed to a retest of, those highs, maybe, those highs that I'm talking about right here. and a retest of that structure, even though this move is very, very strong. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on that to buy on a dip on the USD CAD, of course, because we are looking at some intensity in the US dollar. So that's today's daily watch list. Hope you have a great trading day. Trade safe, and I'll see you on the inside.